Welcome to the first Life Groups and Life Missions Leadership Podcast of 2019. We hope that today's content will bring value to you as a leader and as a follower of Christ.
Well, guys, so the beginning of 2019, holy cow, 2018 was an amazing year.
It was an amazing year, and it went by so quickly.
It did. This last weekend's message that we got to hear from Pastor Tim was so good. I loved the analogy of the door. He had a physical door, two physical doors on stage. If you guys missed last weekend's message of letting go of the past, it was so good. I loved how he was walking out of 2018, the door from 18, and walking in to the door of 2019. So as we begin a new year, I know I have in the past had this happen, but I thought I'm going to have a New Year's resolution.
Right.
And then, February happens and I've totally forgotten about it. But I love some of the disciplines that Craig has talked about. I know he picks a new discipline once every year.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, his leadership podcast that actually came out this morning, the same morning that we're recording this video, It talks about 6 steps to becoming a great leader this year. If you haven't checked out Pastor Craig's podcast, you definitely want to catch this episode and the next episode. He's going to cover 3 in each of those, but it talks about some disciplines that we can start doing, some very small things that can have over time a really big influence in our leadership. But it's not just all about what we're doing, it's about who we are becoming.
And that's the most important thing.
It's the most important thing.
So much more concerned with who we're becoming rather than what we're doing. Another really great discipline that many of you we've already had conversations with put into play is a word for the year, because it's so much simple when you put one word instead of trying to say, I'm going to do this, and this.
Right.
But if you pick one year, so we wanted to take this time today to tell you guys a little bit about our words. So my word for this year is connect. And as I was praying through what my word this year was going to be, so many things came into place. People were saying the word connect. I was hearing it, and really that's what we get to do. But my heart behind this and God's intent for me is to find new and more ways to connect with God, so that I can connect with my wife and serve my wife better, and so that together, her and I, as we're connecting with God and with each other, we're then connecting with our daughter. And ultimately, what that allows me to do is connect with you guys even more. And so that is my word for this year.
Yeah, so my word is a little bit different, and it really has spun out of this Travel Light series. God's been doing a lot of work in me, both internally and in my mind, but it's the word pruning, and that may seem a little weird to have that word for your year resolution or your year focus. The reason I chose pruning, and I believe it was God really kind of just revealing that to me, is there's a lot of things in my life that may not be the best, right? They're good things. Yeah. Sometimes they're wonderful things, but I really want to focus on the best. So whether it's stuff or whether it's ways I spend my time, I want to prune away some of those things that don't really fit. My son Dakota, my 12-year-old son, he asked me the other day, he said, Dad, what is pruning? Why pruning? Well, I explained it to him. I said, well, think of a bush or a plant. Sometimes there's some dead branches or dead pieces on that bush, and they need to be cut away for the health of the bush. And then sometimes there's overgrowth, right? Things that have just kind of gone into the excess, and those can be trimmed back so that we can focus on the most important things. And that's what my desire is for my life this year, is to really prune away some of the excess, prune away some of the things that are dead and rotting, and really focus on the most important things.
That's great. So we've already had conversations with a few of you on words that you're already picking this year. A couple of the ones that I've heard from you guys are rest and discipline. You said you've heard a couple as well. And know this, guys, that when you tell us those or you share something like that with us, we are intentionally praying for you guys. We're already praying for you weekly as it is. It's the very first thing we do in our meetings. But even more so on a personal level, when you guys come to us, we're praying for strength and for God's guidance for for you. So if you haven't shared your word for this year, you haven't come up with one, be praying about it. And please come find us in the lobby or text us or email us and let us know what your word is this year so we can be praying for you.
And here's the thing, we know that when you get better as a leader, those you lead get better. That's why our focus for the first quarter of 2019 is really honing in on the span of care in our ministry. And we know, just like Pastor Craig's Leadership Podcast says, when the leader gets better, everyone gets better. So we want to be able to grow individually so that we can help the people we lead take their next steps with Jesus. And you are going to be an integral part of making that happen in our ministry for 2019. And we want to hear more about what God is doing in your life, in your ministry, whether that's your life group or whether it's your group of life group leaders, your network of life group leaders. We want to hear how those relationships are impacting your life so that we can be praying for you and encouraging you in that. But until we see you guys on the weekend, get the opportunity to shake your hand or hug your neck, we hope you remember whoever finds God
Finds life.